new writing project can be kind of overwhelming, so I wanted to walk you through how to take your notes for your animal report. So remember, our animal report has to be on an ocean animal. So, as many of you know, my favorite animal is a jellyfish. So, when I went on the website, I tried to find some jellyfish. And let me show you what I found. I found the moon jelly. So I'm going to do my entire report on the moon jelly. I thought it looked really, really pretty, and I also noticed that there was lots of information that I can find out about it. So I'm going to go back to my notes page and put in for my name of the animal, moon jelly. Now, I have to look and see what kind of things my animal report notes have to have. I have to have some information about the appearance, so what the animal looks like and how big it is. I have to have something about the habitat, so where it lives besides just the ocean. I need to know about its diet. What kind of things does it eat? Does it eat meat? Does it eat plants and fruits and vegetables? What are its predators? So, what are some of the other animals that might eat my ocean animal? Does it have any enemies? How does it protect itself? I'm going to find out about its family. So, I'm going to find out what a baby moon jelly is called. I'm going to see if there are different names for a male or a female moon jelly, so a boy or a girl. And I'm going to find out if the family all lives together or if the babies live separately after they are born. And then I have a whole section here where I can put down other interesting things that I learn about my ocean animal as I do the research. So let's go ahead and start with my appearance. What does it look like? So I'm going to go back to my website and I'm going to find out some more about what it looks like, both by looking at pictures of my animal and reading some of this information. Is that when I was reading this page, there wasn't a lot of information about what my animal looked like. So I decided that I'm going to look up some pictures instead so I can get a better idea of what this animal looks like. I'm going to come up here to the plus sign. Remember, that's called a tab. I'm going to type in moon jelly. And I'm going to come over here to images. Look at all these cool pictures of the moon jelly. And now I have a better idea of what it looks like. So I noticed that moon jellies have these little legs or tentacles. I noticed that they are kind of round or circular, so it looks like a circle. And I noticed that they have these 4 half circles on the inside of their covering. So when I go to my notes, I'm going to write all of those things. I noticed that they are have those tentacles for legs. I'm going to write that they have a round body and that it's almost circular, using those awesome geometry words. And I'm going to write that it has the half circles on the inside of its covering. So I'm giving myself as much information as I possibly can, so that way when I have to write later, I know exactly what I was talking about in those pictures. Okay? Let's try it yourself. So I want you to go to your notes page and decide, what does my animal look like? And if there's not enough information on the website, remember to go ahead and look at some pictures online like I did, so you can get a better idea of how to describe your animal. Great job filling out your appearance section. Now let's go ahead and try your habitat section. So remember from zoology with Miss Angie, she has told us that a habitat is where the animal lives. So I'm going to try and find out where the moon jelly lives. Now, do you think it would be enough information to just say the ocean? I don't think so. I think we can do better than that. So let's find out what kind of ocean it might live in and where in which ocean it might live in. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my website and it has all this information. And when I look at the main box up here, it actually gives me some good information that I should know about. So one thing it says is that the moon jellies live in the North Atlantic Ocean. So it tells me which ocean around the world that they live in. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into my notes. North Atlantic Ocean. Okay, let's see what else it says about the habitat. It also says that my jellyfish tend to be coastal to oceanic. Now, those are some pretty big words, and you might have to ask an adult for some help deciphering some of these big words. That means understanding some of these big words that you see online. I know that coastal sounds a lot like coast, so I bet that these jellyfish are tending to live on the coast near the beaches of the ocean. And when it says to oceanic, I think that means that they also live deep in the ocean. So I'm going to write coastal to oceanic in my notes page. Okay. Let's find out one more awesome thing about where the animal lives or what kind of shelter they use to stay safe. So I'm going to come on down here and try and read some of this information. Now, this all looks like a lot to read. So I might ask an adult or an older sibling to help me read some of this and find out where my animal lives. I also see that it says that my moonfish is commonly found near the coast. So I think I did a good job guessing what coastal means. It also says, though the moon jelly lives throughout the epipelagic zone. I wonder what that means. For now, I'm going to go ahead and copy that onto my notes page because I think that's really good information. But first, I have to figure out what in the world that means because it's not very helpful to have things on your notes page if you don't know what it means. So let's go find out some more. So that word means that they live in the open ocean or deep in the ocean. The epipelagic zone, I'm actually not sure how to say that, guys, but it means the upper open ocean. So it's the part of the ocean where there is enough sunlight for algae to utilize photosynthesis. So I'm going to copy this part of the ocean where there is enough sunlight. Okay, and I'm going to put that with my notes so when I'm writing later, I can remember what in the world this big new word means. So it's the upper open ocean. And it's a part of the ocean where there's enough sunlight. Okay, so make sure to give yourself as much information as possible. Now, if you're like me and you have a whole bunch of information, but it doesn't fit in your box, you are always welcome to write on the back of this paper or to get another piece of paper to write on. I'd rather you have more information than not enough. Okay, so go ahead and try to fill out your habitat section of your animal report. Where does it live and what kind of shelter does it have? Remember to explain those new words that you learn as you find them out, okay? Great work on filling out your habitat section of your animal report. Now, let's go ahead and jump to the diet section. Now, this is the last section we're going to do today, so I know we can push through even though this is hard. Remember that word persisted we've been talking about? How we're going to even work on things even though they can be tricky or challenging. So let's persist and let's finish up one more section of our animal report, okay? Now this section asks, what does the animal eat? And how does the animal find food? So I'm going to go back to my website and I'm going to do some reading. Now I see that it says, like all true jellies, the moon jelly's tentacles are covered with specialized stinging cells. The moon jelly uses these stinging cells to hunt. Okay, so I'm going to put that into my own words. So the moon jelly's tentacles are covered with specialized stinging cells. Okay, that they use to hunt their prey. Okay. Now remember, if you don't have enough room, you can always write on the back. It's kind of hard for me to type on the back because I have a computer instead of my pencil today. Okay, let's see if we can get it to fit. There we go. Just about. All right, you guys. Let's see if we can find out another thing about the way the animal eats and what kind of things it eats. Okay, so I actually went ahead and read some more of the information on this page, and I didn't really understand what the moon jelly eats. So I decided that I'm going to go to another website. Okay, so I went to National Geographic Kids and I found their stuff about jellyfish. Okay, and when I read through all of the information, I was able to find what they eat. Okay, it says most stings occur to their food, that jellyfish digest their food very quickly. Okay, so that's information about how they eat. I can put that in their diet section. Okay. And let's see if we can find out one more thing. I would really like to know what they eat because that feels like important information. Okay, let's find out what they eat. Well, here we go. It says they dine, which is, think like dinner, right? They dine or they eat. They eat fish, shrimp, crabs, and tiny plants. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that into my notes. They dine. I'm going to change dine to eats. That way, when I'm writing later, I remember what that word means. Okay. So I have not only what kind of things that they do eat every day, but I also have some ways that they catch their food or find their food. All right, you guys, I know that you can do this very last piece. I want you to go ahead and try and fill out the diet section of your animal report. Good luck.